Welcome to Shopstick Travel. We're Luke and Sabrina, and today we are in the United Arab Emirates. In this episode, we're leaving Dubai behind to explore more of what the UAE has to offer, hanging out with some locals and having a traditional family lunch. And this evening, we're gonna head into the desert to cook the Emirati dish known as Machboos, cooked on a wood fire. It's gonna be a great episode, so make sure you stay tuned until the end. Let's go meet up with our buddy Omar and explore the UAE.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
So we have just arrived to Sharjah, and Omar here is going to get me kitted out in this. What do you call this again?
It's a kandora.
Kandora.
We call it kandora, and it's the traditional white dress.
Make sure it fits nice. So we're getting a custom fit to make sure that it's nice and comfortable. This is definitely going to be my first time trying one of these on.
Looks good.
Feels good. Feels really good.
This design, they know that you're from the UAE.
Okay, so this is from the UAE.
Yeah, and this design. This
okay. Faruha. All right, we've got the goods. We're gonna iron it so I look a little bit more fresh, and I'll change into it later. Super excited. So the clothing's all dry cleaned, and now we're gonna get changed at the gas station before we go to the family's house. How do I look?
Good. Nice.
I put it on backwards the first time. All right, your turn.
All right, I'm going to get changed.
Nice. All right, we are all set.
We're ready.
How's it feel?
Very nice, very airy.
Completing the look. So we have made it to the house that we're having lunch at. This is in the city of Ras Al Khaimah. Beautiful property, and they've got some really cool cars over here. Come check these out. So this Land Rover here is from 1948, perfect condition, running like no problem. Oh, it's so cool. And there's not one of these, but actually two of these Land Rovers from 1948, both salvaged from Germany. And this one even has the original license plate from Germany. So I probably should have mentioned earlier, and you're probably wondering why there is some super classic Land Rovers and Rolls Royce and such a beautiful house, because we actually just met Sheikh Mohammed, one of the families of the royal, or members of the royal family, and this is his guest house. So he was the one that invited us over. Really honor.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So we've come into the house now. We've got this beautiful feast in the beautiful house, and a couple of traditional Emirati dishes, Arabic dishes. We'll introduce them to you, try them out. It looks really good. So the centerpiece of the table here is this, which is called eshlahem, and it's meat and rice. There's some chickpeas, there is little raisins, I see some boiled eggs, and this is goat on top, and it smells so, so good. This is haris over here, which is a pounded meat and wheat. It's almost like a one-to-one mixture. And then over here we've got Khabees. And I'm not familiar with this dish, but this is it semolina?
It's not semolina.
It's just wheat.
It's wheat mixed with some like some local.
Okay, so wheat mixed with spices, some saffron, all kinds of different things. And this is a dessert. Let's dig in. This looks great. So I've actually got a salad with halloumi cheese and some walnuts. Okay, now on to the main attraction here. This beautiful rice, kind of white and yellow. Lots of spices in there, you can smell it. And we gotta get some of the goat ribs, which looks super tender. Oh man. I wish you guys could smell this because it smells so good. Wow, thank you. All right, let's dig in some of this goat, get some of that skin nice and hot still. And here in the UAE, it's traditional to eat with your hands. And get some of that rice too. Oh, and some of these chickpeas. Let's try that. Wow, The rice is so soft, and the chickpeas have a little bit of a crunch to them left. You can taste the saffron in there. It's almost a little earthy, and then that super tender goat. That must have been cooking for a long time. It just falls apart. The skin is spiced and kind of marinated so well. We've also got some dates. Lots of dates here in the UAE. You gotta chase it with some date.
Yeah.
They're super creamy, naturally sweet. Again, a little bit earthy. So creamy.
First time trying haris. Looks good. It's served nice and hot. Let's give it. It's very thick. Let's give it a try. Wow. Very creamy. Almost like a mashed potato texture. Very savory. Nice and light. It's really good.
So time to finish off with some dessert. Kind of a light lunch because we're saving room for later. This is the Khabees, the wheat with saffron, all kinds of spices. I can see some nuts in there too. I think we're gonna have a little cup of coffee after this. But this looks really interesting. It's kind of all crumbling, falling apart. Let's try it out. It's not too sweet. Just very lightly sweet, but nicely spiced. There's some crunchy nuts in there as well. I love the texture. This house is really so beautiful. These couches are amazing. So we're gonna sit down and have some coffee?
Yes.
Ah, yes. So they serve just a very small amount in the cup, and that's because they'll just continue refilling until you're done. And when you're finished, you just give the cup a shake, and that kind of symbolizes that you're finished. But I think I'm gonna have a couple cups. Oh yeah.
It's called bukhur, and the bukhur is for you put it on the coal, and it has a very nice smell. And it's a tradition where we bring it for the guests so that the smell can.
Okay, so I should like this.
Yeah, you just bring the smoke to you and.
So this is what was burning.
Yes.
Yeah. And it can get really expensive.
Yeah, it depends on the category and old and ancient, and if it's old or.
Yeah. So what do you think so far?
Oh my gosh, what a wonderful experience. The hospitality here is amazing. We had delicious food, beautiful experience, really generous people. Awesome.
Huge thank you to Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Al Hamar for the gifts. They just gave us some dates. Huge thank you for the invitation and everything, and also some beautiful looking honey. I don't know how they know me so well, but I love honey. Thank you very much. So that's it for the family meal. Again, massive thank you to Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Al Hamar for inviting us and showing us amazing hospitality in their beautiful house and showing us the really cool cars. We're gonna go do a little bit of sightseeing around town now before we head into the desert later this evening. We're just driving around the old part of Ras Al Khaimah. It's quite a big contrast to the big city of Dubai and all the tall buildings. A lot of these are older buildings, and we're gonna go check out a cool mosque. So this is an old mosque that actually was built using some kind of old coral that was washed ashore an island. So they brought it from the island here, a few miles off in the Gulf, and they built the base of this mosque using that. Nowadays it's been rebuilt, it's kind of renovated. It's still got this old charm to it though. These are the old original houses. You're not going to see this in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. It's going to be plowed down, built a new big building on top of it. Kind of cool to see the original, again, built with some of those coral rocks. We're going to go check out more of Ras Al Khaimah now. It's still a little bit too hot to head into the desert. We're going to wait for the sun to get a little lower. Maybe go check out a coffee shop.
So you can mix it so that you mix in the color.
Wow, look at that. So this is called Sangani, right?
Sangini.
Sangini tea. And it's a really thick, rich tea that he's mixed with actual just hot water on the bottom. So you can see it just sits right on top there. There's quite a bit of sugar. And I'll just give it a swirl, spin it around. And we are at this really cool coffee shop / tea shop that is the oldest one here in Ras Al Khaimah. Let's give this a try. Wow.
70 to 80 years old.
70 to 80-year-old coffee shop, and that is awesome tea. Really strong black tea, really sweet too. It's got some spices. There's some extra stuff going on in there. Wow, love it. Such a cool place too. And we're sitting outdoors and it's just such a cool atmosphere here. One more stop before we head into the desert. Another drink. This is a famous juice shop that Omar wants us to try. This is a really interesting looking fruit smoothie. So he starts with a ton of sugar, a little bit of powdered milk, and then he made one blend of avocado and one blend of mango. And then he started by filling the cup full of mango and then a little bit of a pomegranate mixed with grapes, almost like a juice, and then he pours the avocado on top. You get this really interesting kind of swirly green and yellow and red colors going on in there. So let me try this out. It's supposed to be really, really delicious. And I've never had a combination of avocado and mango. Wow, that avocado is creamy. And you get the sweetness from all that sugar and also the mango. And then there's a little bit of like an acidity, sourness from the pomegranate, but it's dominated by the avocado, which is super creamy. That is so refreshing.
So I have a little bit of an avocado intolerance, so I got one with a banana strawberry topping. Everything else is the same, except now you can see there's definitely some banana and strawberry blended up into there. Let's give it a try. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's like all my favorite fruits mixed into one big delicious slushy. Nice and sweet, nice and refreshing.
It matches your dress.
Oh yeah, it does.
All right, now we are heading into the desert. Let's go. All right, we have officially made it to the desert. Four-wheel drive is on. So we spotted this small farm out in the desert. They've actually got a bunch of camels, so we're gonna go take a closer look.
They're very cute.
Unfortunately, they haven't given birth yet, otherwise we would have tried their milk. So this is the farmer, and this is his prize camel behind us, and he's raising these camels for racing. And this one has won 25 races. He breeds them, and these things can run fast. So now the farmer has invited us for some coffee and dates, of course.
I
don't know how many cups of coffee this is today, but no complaints. I'm loving the Arabic coffee here. Oh yeah, this one's even stronger with cardamom. Very hot.
And a piece of halwa, little sweet, with my Arabic coffee. I don't know what that is inside. That's totally different than anything I've ever tried.
هو متى بيقدر يجيبهم؟
More Arabic coffee, a little bit of halwa, which is from Oman, so it's a little bit different than what we've tried before. The sun is just starting to set. The setting is incredible. We're going to eat very soon, and I think we are going to be stuffed.
Oh, I got sand all over myself. A little bit of off-roading, courtesy of Omar. And we're at the top of the sand dune. Woo! That was awesome.
هني يوم أي روحي وفوق أبغى جوا شوي أي فوق حلو والله عرفت بس اليد.
We are super deep in the desert right now, and the sand out here is probably the softest sand I've ever felt in my life. It feels so good on the feet, and it feels so good to be in this. And Omar's family farm is just very close to here, and that's where we're going to be cooking dinner tonight.
This is a really beautiful oasis in the middle of the desert, but you couldn't even see it when we came in. And then the lights flicked on, and it's gorgeous.
So we're just getting a fire going, and this is how we're going to cook the machboos.
So I'm just going to introduce to you everything that's going in the machboos. We have potatoes, onions, tomatoes, green peppers, and dill and parsley. We have a nice big pot of goat meat, as you can see there, all chopped up, and also a big pot of rice. And these are the spices that's gonna flavor the machboos. We have dried lemons, cinnamon, cardamom, and bay leaves.
So starting with some oil and onions in the pot, it is super hot on that wood fire. And next is the goat, and we're gonna get it a little bit crispy before we put the rest of the vegetables in.
Now we're putting the tomatoes, cinnamon, ورق غار ولوم يابس.
So after putting the goat meat in, we added a mixture of a ton of different spices, especially a lot of cumin in there. And then we put the veggies, some garlic, dill, parsley, and now we're adding a little bit of hot water, and we're gonna boil this down for a little bit. Alright, the Machboos is done. It's been boiling for about an hour and a half, and then we steamed it for another maybe 20 minutes or so. Wow, that smells so good.
ما ادري
بكفي
زيد
Okay, the time has come to dig into the Machboos. I'm gonna grab some of this meat and just look at how tender that is. Completely falls off the bone. Tons of veggies in here. That rice has soaked up all those spices. Oh man, let's give it a try. That is awesome. Wow. It is just packed full of flavor. I can taste the cinnamon, the dried lemon. The goat just completely falls apart, but the rice is completely saturated with all of those different flavors in there. Wow, let's go in for a little bit of potato here. Some more rice. This is awesome. Desert cooked Machboos on the wood fire.
بالعافية بالعافية.
So good. Look at how tender this goat is. Completely falls off the bone. No effort. Oh man, the rice is smoking hot. It's like you can taste every single ingredient in there. The onions, all the spices, all the vegetables, the rice, and especially that goat. I love that goat. How is this, Rita?
It's absolutely delicious. We're sitting here on this mat right outdoors. Beautiful temperature. It's delicious.
Having some fruit after that beautiful, beautiful dinner. What an experience cooking out here in the desert, the sand in our toes and the cool desert air. And that Machboos was absolutely incredible. A little bit spicy, but full of all kinds of different flavors. It's like you could taste every single thing in there. Chase it with some orange. What a night. What an incredible day, and what a way to end it. It's almost 10 p.m. We're still out here in the desert, nice and cool. That was such a fun day. A massive, massive thank you to Omar for helping us out today, and also to Sheikh Mohammed and Al Hamar for inviting us into their guest home and giving us an incredible family meal. What a day here in the UAE. The hospitality is just another level. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Chopstick Travel. Bye-bye.
Bye.